time to take a risk, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to share the burden. We've prayed, we've fasted, we've cried out to God. We've joined in with prayers of the other servants of God. We've discerned, hey, there's that word again, discernment. We've discerned the will of God. We've given the main cog, into the hands of the Lord. His name is Artaxerxes. He's asked the question. He recognized the king has his own sense of discernment, and he has discerned the heart of Nehemiah. Why are you sad? This is nothing but sorrow of heart. Why should my face not be sad? Can you hear the whirlpool just spinning around? And you say, well, why should my face not be sad when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste and its gates are burned with fire? And the king said to me, what do you request? So what is it that you want, kid? Hey, son, this guy, they were close. It wasn't just a guy that they just sent in there and you never knew his name. This guy traveled with him all over you didn't have, 100 cupbearers. Because if the poison was ever discovered, it was going to be one guy whose head was going to roll. These guys were right there on the elbow of the king. Probably traveled with him all over the place. It probably spoke about a lot of things in their lives. Maybe even gave counsel. Nehemiah was a wise man. He was a follower and probably gave counsel to the king at certain times. Like a Daniel, like a Joseph, like an Ezra. The king said to me, what do you request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. This is the time to where I'd say, let me go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. And I go to the bathroom and I say, hey, right now, right? The king said to me, what do you request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. Oh my God, we've been praying for 2.5 months, fasting, crying out to God, cashing in promises and all kinds of stuff. And then the king, all of a sudden, he's being taken right into that. What do you request? God. God. I have to, what's that? Shandada basi. Nothing, just shundida. So I pray to the God of heaven. The king said, verse 5, if it pleases the king. And I said to the king, okay, all right, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I said to the king, if it pleases the king, if your servant has found favor in your sight, I ask that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may rebuild it. Nehemiah, are you sure you want to go this far? Remember, we talk about the vision and we talk about purpose. God will give you a vision that's bigger than yourself. It's impossible. Well, what's impossible for man is possible for God. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you are able to ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. That is the power of His Holy Spirit. We believe in the power, we believe in the present day ministry of the Holy Spirit. We believe that we're nothing without it. If it pleases the king, if your servant has found favor in your sight, I ask that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may rebuild it. Oh, big request. Little man, big king, bigger God. Then the king said to me, the queen also sitting beside him, this could be Esther. Maybe not. But Esther, one of these days, was going to be sitting in that chair with that same king. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We try not to. We try to keep it verse by verse, chapter by chapter. Then the king said to me, the queen also sitting beside him, How long will your journey be? When will you return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Now watch this. You're Nehemiah. You've gone through this whole series of events, and right about now, sweat is pouring down from your brow. You're turning red. You're saying, well, this could be my Nick right now. This could be, get out of here. Who do you think you are? Somebody take him out and shoot him. Let's get rid of this guy. Get me another one. So it pleased the king to send me. Now, oh, that was easy. You see, that was, no, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that, it was a little tenuous at a time there. The king said to me, the queen also sitting beside him, how long will your journey be? And when will you return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. And the joy is starting to bubble up. And the vision is starting to take on. This is when the vision begins to clarify even a little bit more. This is when faith really begins to strengthen. All started with a prayer 2.5 months ago. How long will your journey be? When will you return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Well, I'd like to leave, and I'm thinking of returning about then. When? How long? When will you return? But you are coming back, aren't you? Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I plan on coming back. I don't have any problem with coming back, but I got to get this done. Verse 7. Furthermore, I said to the king, if it pleases the king. Now that we're full of faith, let's start asking. Now that you're there, you only have this one shot, this one opportunity. Take every advantage that you have of it. So it pleases the king, let letters be given to me for the governors of the region beyond the river, that they permit me to pass through till I come to Judah. Remember, Ezra was afraid to ask. Ezra tells the people before they're ready to leave, I'd like to ask the king for some guards, but I'm afraid because I've told him how big and how mighty our God is. So we're stepping out. Nehemiah says, hey, how about you send me some letters? It doesn't always work the same way. Don't put God in a box. Don't put him in some type of a formula. Say, well, Ezra didn't need it, so I'm not going to need it. No. Different times, different situations, same God. Furthermore, I said to the king, if it pleases the king, let letters be given to me for the governors of the region beyond the river, that they must permit me to pass through till I come to Judah. And a letter to Asaph. Well, if you're going to ask, let's ask large, okay? We want letters. And then we want a letter to Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he must give me timber to make beams for the gates of the citadel which pertains to the temple, and for the city wall, and for the house that I will occupy. And the king granted them to me according to the good hand of my God upon me. I told you it was easy. You know, Nehemiah goes back after this whole series of events to his family and to the, what happened? Oh my God, what happened? Well, I told you we had it. No, it wasn't that easy. He says, you won't believe what God did today. Oh, what the Lord has done. Woo. Oh, what the Lord has done. I want letters for the governors beyond the river Euphrates, that they must permit me to pass through till I come to Judah. And I want a letter to Asaph. This isn't the Asaph that was the leader of the music in the time of David, okay? Of course it wasn't. Letter to Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he must give me timber to make beams for the gates of the citadel, which pertains to the temple, for the city wall, and for the house that I will occupy. And the king granted them to me according to the good hand of my God upon me. Well, I guess that proves if you don't ask, if you don't get out over there the squeaky wheel, gets the grease, and he is squeaking, and guess what he's getting?